All right, everybody, welcome to the University of Missouri Tigers versus Trine Esports here. Here, joined with me is Ben, who was one of the A-team subs, and also I'm joined here with Josh Cress, Rob. We're so happy to be here and ready to cast this game for you guys. It's going to be a very good one, and it's a very, very important one. Mizzou and Trine University are both at a place right now where every single game is a must-win to even have the opportunity of going to playoffs. So I thank you guys for being here. JQ, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. What about you, Ben?
I'm doing fantastic as well. Thank you very
That's
much.
that's great to hear, man. We're just about to get into game. This time we're not going to have that 15-minute wait like we did last time, but we're actually going to go ahead and hop already into Champ Select with Trine University on the blue side, so they get first ban and first pick. We're going to see what they're going to be focusing out. And first, I'm going to go with the Aurelian Soul. Bismarck is known as being the Aurelian Soul player. That's one of his signature picks, and a pick that he picks a lot. So now we're going to
Yeah.
see what Paladin's going to look for.
Actually, on that note, I believe that Bismarck is number three, Aurelian Soul, in an A right now, which is really big.
That's crazy. That's wow.
Yes.
He's top three. So banning it out
Yes.
is probably the best way for them to actually have a chance at beating them. But looks like there's already two mid bans with a Syndra as well. And we're also looking at a Vayne ban. So some bans are already going to Nestor, who absolutely popped off last week. So it makes sense on when they might throw some bans their way. But we're going to go ahead and see a Kha'Zix ban coming out of the Mizzou side, focusing on a little bit of the jungle pressure from Trine University. And lastly, we're going to see a Zilean ban. Zilean's a pick that's been so good in LCS. It's so good at every single level at League of Legends. It's just overall a really safe pick to have, and it just has a lot of utility it brings to the team. Here we see also a Vladimir ban and a first pick Jax coming out of Trine University. Jax is a pick that's a super strong and safe pick in the top lane that can absolutely carry a game. That's what Paladin did last week whenever he almost 1v9 that game. Game 2. But we're also going to see a Thresh here, and I think we're also going to see an Ashe, so a Thresh Ashe. But instead, I guess they're going to also get a jungler, so we're going to get a J4 Thresh. That's a lot of team fight pressure. Cookie is known for his Thresh. I think that's his most played champion right now. And it's been for a while. It's a playmaking support, really, really good. And the J4 also allows for a lot of early game playmaking and also late game CCing, which is going to be really, really good. They're going to go ahead. Trine is going to go ahead and grab the Graves. Graves also a strong pick. Got a lot better with the new crit changes. He can now build PD. He can now build IE, and it just works a lot better for him. So overall, Graves is a good champion. Graves into Jarvan's also a decent matchup. He can eat over the wall of Jarvan if he wants to. That's a really good
Yeah.
pick.
He
And
can also
also,
Q. It'll instantly come back if Jarvan has Swall up, which
yeah,
will do double damage, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, exactly. So it's just a really good counter pick from the Graves, getting some counters early, and they're also going to pick up the Janna. Janna just really, really safe. Doesn't really want to do much. Just wants to sit there, protect her laner, and get ready for the late game. Her R is really, really good when it comes to any engage that comes her way. You can pop her R, and it'll just get away from her. That's really good. And we're also going to see the Kennen. Kennen's a pick from Paladin that I'm pretty sure out of every single game he's played of it, which is over, I think 6 or 7, he's only lost one game on it. He has a 4.5 KDA with Kennen. Kennen's such a good pick right now, especially. It seems like Mizzou is looking more towards a team fight comp. Um, and Trine's looking more like a kind of react to it. You know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
really start the fight, but they're there to continue the fight and hope that they can win the fight. But other than that, we're seeing a bunch of mid bans. We're seeing the Oriana ban, and we're also seeing the Lissandra ban. Both two really good picks, especially when it comes to team fighting, when it comes to roaming with the Lissandra. Two very good picks. And also, they're going to ban out the Ezreal. They want to at least have some sort of action in the bot lane, and Ezreal and Janna is not where you're going to get any of that. It's just going to be a farm lane. We're also
Wow.
seeing a Malzahar ban. So that seems like 3 to 4 mid bans on the side of Trine University. They seem to be a little bit scared of Bismarck.
That's actually a lot of bans focused on one particular person.
Yeah, I don't. They're really using all their resources to try to stop the mid lane. But we're going to see Kaylin here out of Nestor. Last game we saw Nestor go, I think 9-1 and something with it, just absolutely popping off game one last week against Iowa State. Definitely one of his power picks. He showed that he's really, really good at it. Um, Not as good as a combo with the Thresh Caitlyn, but still an insanely good combo. And over here, we're going to see the Janet and Sivir. They pretty much they seem to have a goal of wanting to get the late game right now with the Jax, with the Janet, with the Sivir, now with the Lux. They seem to want to have a lot of scaling in this game. Now we're going to see what they pick last for the mid lane on Mizzou. Let's see. There's a lot of good champions still up. A lot of champions that have a lot of power in the meta right now. But he's going to go ahead. Azir would be an insanely good pick with all the team fight they have. Azir with the new Conqueror buffs is just an overall really, really, really good champion. And it's really good to see that he's going to be pulling it out here in game one.
Wow, Azir game one. It's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, Azir. I haven't seen a lot of Azir. It might be because I'm in low elo. But I think Azir, when it's played by the right people, is such a powerful pick right now. The changes to
Yeah.
Conquer, a lot of people aren't really giving Azir attention, but the changes to Conquer make Azir really, really good and just brings him right back into the meta, right where he belongs. The playmaking you need to do, it's also a pretty safe pick when it needs to be. I think overall, saving the Azir pick for last to have that counter pick, especially with all the resources that Trine has been using against it, just an overall really good game plan coming out of JP. So when looking at these two comps, JQ, what do you think the goal of Trine University is compared to the goal of Mizzou?
I see a lot of split push in Trine actually. Like I see Mizzou wants to team fight and just have a nice 5v5 fight, but I see with Sivir and Jax that they might just want to split to win.
Yeah, I completely agree. It seems like there's a lot of team fight focus from Mizzou. I mean, all the team fight they have on that team, they have the Thresh, we can start fights. They have the Azir, the J4, the Kennen. They're just looking to really shove it down Trine's throat once it comes to later in the game to make sure that they can secure the objectives. But the pressure, I don't think Kennen's going to be able to match the Jax in a side lane unless he gets super far ahead. So I think it's definitely a really good pick for him. So,
Um,
Ben, when it
well,
comes to your guys' preparation, why exactly do you guys have this super powerful team fighting comp?
it's basically two reasons. First of all, is our coordination, our macros is really good compared to other teams. A lot of times, our mechanics is where we fall behind, or dumb stuff like that, or dumb mistake. Like Risky will sometimes do a dumb mistake. I even do dumb mistake. But our macro and our team fighting potential, our synergy is what makes us a good team. And the second thing is we always go for dragons early on. At level 6, you'll always find us in the dragon pit, trying to start those fights, trying to take the dragon, trying to get free objectives bot lane.
Hmm.
We're just trying to start, try to be proactive with our plays and like start fights early on rather than later on like the other team I think will be doing since they have Jax, Lux, and Severe.
Yeah, I completely agree. It seems to be a lot of team fighting focus, and I think with the amount of like coaching that JP gives you guys and the preparation you guys go to, this is definitely a team comp that I think that I just don't think Trine's going to be really ready for it. I mean, the amount of team fighting potential. I mean, the team fighting differential between the two teams. I mean, you don't really have that many team fighting oriented champions on the side of Trine. I mean, you have the Sivir who can pop her R if she needs to. You have a little bit of CC from the Lux. The Jax can also CC if he really wants to, but it really seems like they're going to be focusing on pushing the side lanes and just outscaling Mizzou right now.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, well, we got 30 seconds into game. Until we get into game. Finally, this 3-minute delay, not the best. I just want to thank everybody here that's watching. We really appreciate it that you're here to watch Mizzou do what they do best, and hopefully catch some dubs. Right now they're both tied in the standings at I think 3-2 or 4-2. Um, and it's really going to come up to whoever wins this game. I mean, whoever loses pretty much is mathematically impossible to get into playoffs at that point because it's only the top either 8 teams or 16 teams, something like that. But here we go. We're going to go ahead and hop into game one. University of Missouri versus Trine Esports or Trine University. Go ahead and get into game once it finally loads. Alrighty.
Who do you think has the upper hand in skins this game?
Oh, see the skins. It's when I'm looking at the. Oh, this is already an easy question. If you look to the side of Trine University, they're going team only 4 skin right now. They don't even have all
Yes.
5 skins. You have the Championship Thresh. You have the Arctic Warfare Caitlyn. That's already a nice cold theme in the bot lane. You have the Dark Farge and Gravelord and Blood Moon. That's just breathing that edgy energy, which you absolutely love to see. Now we're going to go ahead and get into game here. Game 1 between Trine University and the University of Missouri. I think we're going to be seeing a little bit of an invade. Maybe, or they're just going to be going in as 5. I mean, they have the Thresh. They have the advantage when it comes to level 1. But we're going to see a 5-point start coming out of Trine. We're going to go ahead and get in that bush. Oh, yep, they're going to be ready to invade. This is what they tried to do game 2 of last week, and it did not really go very well for them.
It did not work out at all.
Yeah.
Hopefully this time they're a little bit smarter about invading.
Yeah, last time I think it was still a Sivir. They just placed a ward and they were able to run, but it looks like they're going to be looking for somebody to peek out a little bit. Cookie's going to go ahead and lead the charge with his hook, but Janna's going to see them. They're going to go ahead and back off. Graves is probably going to respond by going up there to the top side red buff to make sure he can still get that buff. So we're going to see a back coming out of Kennen, so he can go ahead and go top. Respond like he needs to. And Cookie, risk it. They're just going to stay here and just hope that they can still catch somebody out. Hope that somebody goes over there and checks the bush. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Janna's a little bit too smart for that.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be going into that jungle anytime soon.
Yep, so I think with that, they're just going to go ahead and vertically jungle on both sides of the jungle. This is actually a really good start for Mizzou because it gives them the opportunity for Riskit to get an early gank in the bot side because J4 is such an early game oriented champion when it comes to a lot when he's pretty useful.
Yeah.
That's going to be very good for him.
Oh, I think they might have actually seen him right there.
Yep, they got a ward there. J4 is kind of just chilling there.
Okay.
All right, Caitlyn, they're going to go ahead and push up a little bit. They seem to know, and they're going to have to back off there.
I feel like a lot of the time a Thresh lane is very dependent on letting the Q.
Yep. Oh,
They can either make the lane or break it.
absolutely. You see the top lane that Kennen didn't hit level 2 first, so Jax was able to go up there and trade with him like that. That's something you're always going to see. Whoever has that level 2 advantage is always going to go up there and get a little bit more of an advantage. And Jax is a really good champion to do that. For some reason, I am dropping frames a lot. I don't know why that's happening. Well, we seem to be fine here. I'm just going to go ahead and farm it out a little bit. A little bit more aggression coming out of the Jax, which is what he has to do in that matchup. But it seems like they're just going to be looking to farm. Again, Mizzou has more of a team fighting oriented group or champ pool. For some reason, I don't know why, I'm dropping frames.
If you notice right now, TJ is actually very ahead of the enemy jungler. He has, I believe, 4 camps compared to Graves now having 3, plus Scuttle. The only difference is that TJ is a little bit lower.
Yep. Yep.
And that's only because TJ is only taking the big camps. If you look at the enemy jungle right now, they're missing all the big parts of their camps. The big wraith, the big golem thingy. And I think this actually is better for TJ right now. He's losing XP and he's losing more health, but he's also denying the enemy XP later on.
Yep, so it's more focusing on to a little bit later, keeping that Graves a little bit more behind. He is up a lot when it comes to camps. He's going to go ahead and back, get that buy advantage. We're going to see a little bit of action in the bot lane. Doesn't really seem to do much. Just a little bit of poke going on at the Janna. I mean, this is just a really strong lane. The Thresh Caitlyn, they're able to play really aggressive. They're able to do what they really want in that lane. They're the people who are going to be initiating fights. They tell the pace of that bot lane. But right here, we're going to see the Riskit is seen on a ward, so they know that the J4 is topside. Mizzou has no idea where the Graves is, but I'm sure that they can safely assume that he is getting ready to back on his wolf, something like that.
Yeah.
All right, Cookie getting a little bit of poke there, pushing up a little bit too far, probably looking for a hook, but getting a little caught out, but it's all right. It's all fine. For some reason, I'm dropping to 1 FPS out of nowhere. All right, so we're getting a little bit of action. Bucks is getting caught out a little bit, but he's just going to go ahead and back off. They have no vision on where the Graves may be, so they just have to back off, play a little bit safe.
Wow, look at those beautiful wards on the top side.
Oh,
Now they
yeah.
know that Graves is definitely on the side, and they can just do whatever. Maybe take rest as soon as it's up.
Absolutely, just so much vision. It's going to be really important. Like, even this vision that Trine has here doesn't catch out that vision or that vision. So the vision advantage is definitely going towards Mizzou right now, along with the fact that the Scuttle is going topside. So Mizzou's going to be able to scoop that up pretty easy. Take it for free. It just seemed to be a farming fest all around. Pretty even in CS everywhere around, only being a 1 to 2 CS difference everywhere. This game seems like a game. Oh, Jax is going to get a little bit aggressive, but Paladin's actually going to win that trip. We're going to see a gank in the mid lane. Nothing is really going to happen from it, but Jax is getting so caught out. Riskit's going to come in for the gank. He's going to use his smite. He did hit 6, but it doesn't really seem to matter. Oh, he's actually going to almost 1v1 him.
Oh no.
It's one shot, and he has to flash, and that's a 1-for-1 trade. Jax gets that first blood, so he gets 100 extra gold into his pocket. Just seems like a little bit of a misplay on the top side. Even though it was a 2v1, it seemed like J4 didn't really want to go up there and finish it. He wanted to give it to the Kennen instead, and he's going to pay for it.
Yeah, that definitely could have been a lot smoother. I'm not sure exactly what. I think they just whiffed once Jax had his E up. Because he got a stun on Kennen, and I think also got the stun on Riskit as well.
Yeah. Also, Jax hitting level 6 there completely changed the fight. There's a 1 level difference, but when the level is level 6, that is huge. Why is it freezing so much? That is a yikes. But we're all good here. So I'm seeing a little bit of a farm fest. Jax is going to be a little bit of farm behind because he didn't use TP and Paladin did. So about a 14 CS difference in the top lane. But Paladin, because he uses TP there, he's not going to be able to use his influence in the fight mid lane or bot lane if Jax chooses to. So even though Paladin now has a level ahead, it sets up the Jax really well to have influence other places on the map. It's really good for him. Both junglers choosing just to clear their respective sides. Not play too aggressive right now. They understand that the game is looking more towards a farm-oriented game. We're going to see our first back in the bot lane from the side of Mizzou.
I think if the first dragon, it would have been different. The game pace would have definitely be different as well. But just because it's an air drake, nobody's gonna want to risk, a fight for just, an air drake basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Paladin just absolutely just smacking up the Jax right there. Traded really well there. Mizzou's going to get a little bit of aggressive. That's going to be an R coming out of the Azir. The J4 is going to come in, but he's not 6, so they can't dive it. Also, the Graves is there. They know he's there. Riskit's going to have to focus on getting out of there. He's going to dodge the Lux root. They're all going to be good from there.
A little bit of BM coming from Riskit right there. I don't know if you noticed the laugh.
That's the Riskit special right there.
Yeah.
Anytime I've ever scrimmed in the in-house against Riskit, he never fails to get in our head with the various amounts of BM that we get. But hey, it's part of the game. It works. There's a mental aspect to it. Mizzou seems to be going for this Air Dragon. We're going to see if Trine's going to try to focus on going for it, but with 4 people here on the side of Mizzou, there doesn't seem to be much of a reason for them to actually go for it, to actually contest it. That's going to be Cloud's right.
Just ulted over.
Oh, imagine. Oh,
Yeah,
with
he
that.
had a very big time period to do it as well.
Oh, Riskit's going to go down the R down to the bot. They're going to get the Jana. They're going to look for the Sivir now. Sivir's going to flash over the R. He's going to again get that Caitlyn R. That's going to be 2 kills on the side of Mizzou. All right. I don't know.
Very beautifully played.
Yep. Really, really well played. Coming out of Mizzou. On the top side, we're going to see a lot of poke. Which is really, really good for him. I don't know why we're having so many issues with that. After this game, I'm going to have to figure out what exactly is causing this FPS drop, but we will get it fixed. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I hear it on my end as well. So
Same.
Alright. I think I know what the issue might be, so easy fix. We'll get it fixed.
I don't know if you know this with Jax was also forced to use his. It was very, very good wave management by Nick. He not only pushed the wave towards his the enemy turret, but he also forced Jax to use his TP.
Mm-hmm.
Now Nick actually has the TP advantage.
Alright, but right here, Brisket seems to be getting caught out. He's playing a little bit too aggressive without getting the vision. The Lux is going to mix her root, so Brisket's just going to be able to get out for free. That's really good for him. Be able to get out. No issues. Know that they have the pink ward in that top pixel bush. Right now, Trine just has full control over that top side river. Has that pink right there. Got the scuttle. So control over the next big objective, what is going to be this Riptailed, is free form. But right here, we're going to see Risket's going to see that the Graves is there. But Risket's going to get almost one shot there, pushing a little bit too far ahead. Going for that pink ward. It's never worth the die for that 75 gold you get. But that's exactly what he did. Got completely bursted down. But now we're going to see a little bit of a gank on the top side. Nothing's really going to come out of it. They're going to go ahead and back off bot side. Caitlyn and Thresh is always going to be a lane that's going to be pushing. Make it a little bit harder for the Sivir to feel comfortable and have any pressure anywhere else on the map. They're going to go ahead, clear some wards. Get themselves vision, so Risket can go ahead and gank there if he needs to, or if he wants to. Alright, so JQ, looking at the pace of the game so far, what do you think?
So he just has to sit there. He cannot engage. Oh, or is he? Okay, never mind.
Alright. Oh, we're going to see an R out of Paladin. He's going to put a lot of damage down, but Jax is going to get the R. I can't see what happened. He's going to solo kill him. I need to figure out this FPS drop because that was insanely good play coming out of Paladin.
That Jax just did not respect Kennen at all.
Yeah, he just absolutely disrespected Paladin. Paladin was a Grandmaster player. And this Jax just thinks he's the bronzy. He's not putting any respect on his name, but now that we're going to see a dive getting set up in the bot lane. Richard's going to start it up with that. Janet's going to put a few, but oh my god, Janet's going to get one shot. I was like, that was such a clean dive. A super clean dive. And while that was happening, Risket also 1v1 the Graves top. The Graves overstepping, trying to catch out the Kennen, but absolutely paying for it. The super aggressive play. I don't know why they would do that.
Yeah, I actually need to rewatch that. How did that happen? He just lost to Kennen 1v1.
Yeah, I couldn't. I mean, the level difference. I mean, Kennen was level 10. Graves is level 7.
Level difference and the fact that Kennen had his minion wave there, so he could maneuver around there, and Graves can't do anything with a minion wave.
Perfect maneuvering from Nick. He literally kited behind his minions, dodged every single Graves auto. That was very good.
Alright. So just a little bit of vision. Getting taken out all over the place. Making sure that they can get that controlled. Alright. I think the volume's a little bit of an issue, so I'm gonna go ahead and once there's no action, I'll go ahead and get that figured out. A little bit of action in the bot lane.
Bismarck's sending out here, but he's fine. Okay.
Yep, you're gonna head and get out for free. Like nothing happened. We're going to see a little bit of a fight in the top lane. Kennen's going to go ahead and pop that R. Jax is going to put down his E. And he's just going to walk out. Super one shot. He's going to have to back for it without TP. He's going to lose a lot of pressure, a lot of golden experience. Gonna be missing this minion wave. Cannon's gonna probably get that tower top, but they're gonna trade it maybe for that Ocean Drake. But who knows? A little bit of a flash there. Oh, Risket's actually gonna steal, and they're also gonna kill the Graves!
Risket actually stole Dragon and killed Graves in the same motion. That was very good.
That was super, super clean. Kennen also got that tower on the top side. Alright.
Man, I kind of feel bad for the other team right now. Like, I feel like no matter where they focus their pressure on right now, they're just gonna end up losing.
Yep, unless it's the Cookie playing super aggressive, but isn't gonna work out for him. The Janna's gonna have to R. The Nestor's gonna go really aggressive for it, but with that Janna tornado, it's not gonna really work out. Robert or Cookie playing a little bit too far up there, and he's gonna pay for it. Getting taken out by the Sivir. Sivir did pop R for it. Along with Heal, and Janna used Ignite. So an even sums difference coming out of the fight there, but the only difference is that Cookie died for it. In the top side, Risket just got that.
Yeah, Risket's gonna go ahead and take that pressure that bot lane got and use it for his own. Whatchamacallit? I completely forgot what it's called. The Rift. There we go.
Yep.
Sorry.
And got that Rift. That's going to set up really well for what they might look towards this mid tower or this bot tower. But Risket's getting caught out by the Jax. He's going to have to EQ out and give that. No, he's actually going to smite it. The Jax is going to be angry about it, but it's not going to matter. Risket's going to walk out of there like nothing happened. Really good for him. Kennan's actually going to get a double kill in the bot lane. A little action up there, and then while we're distracted with that, Powder's going to go down there and just double kill that bot lane like it's nothing, almost losing no health. Rift's going to go down to the mid lane. They're going to get 3 towers in total from this. Top tower already gone. Paladin then went to the bot side, got that tower after double killing the enemy bot lane. And then put some damage onto this mid tower. Go ahead and get taken out here. Seems like we're playing in Microsoft PowerPoint with
It might just be a loss, just because Kennen is impossible to kill, and Arvin is always with the bot lane. You can't really dive the bot lane at this point.
Absolutely. So with this, I think let me see what's going on real quick and go ahead and alt tab. It's still going to be showing over there. What is going on? Alright.
It looks like we're instigating a fight with Cookie. Cookie might be getting caught out. Oh no.
He is definitely getting caught out.
But it looks like it's gonna work out.
Beautiful Spear ult into Cannon ult.
That was a very good combination.
You can tell it's something they've definitely practiced. With how well that looked.
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous seeing this there in this comp at first, but seeing it now, I'm very confident in Smart's ability to land those ults and, you know, just carry the team into the fight.
Yep, I completely agree there. It was a really, really good engage there. I mean, the team comp is just working to perfection. I mean, it also seems like every time we see Nestor in the bot lane, he's just able to do whatever he wants. He's 4-0-2 right now. Giving him the Caitlyn is pretty much giving up the game, it seems like, at this point. If the other team gives it to him. I mean, if they would have done the research, even just looked at the champs that was played last time, they would have known that Caitlyn's one of his stronger picks that's been picked into a lot of different things, a lot of different comps. But right here, just showing his dominance on it, showing his absolute ability.
Yeah, I can definitely say that the other team is regretting all the mid lane bans. Like, they were trying to stop all the combinations he could do with his mid laners, but he ended up just being on his ear and popping off either way.
Yep, the team fight presence is just so good on the Azir. Really, really strong. Hopefully, I think I fixed the problem with the FPS drop, so I think we're good with there. I guess League Spaghetti code, and I had to be alt-tabbed off of it. I can still see it. But 2 monitors. There you go. But here we go. They're going to be looking for this dragon next. The Infernal Dragon is going to be the next one up. That's going to be really important. They have all the pressure there, so I think that Trine University is just going to have to give it up. It's actually an Ocean Drake. Even though on the top left it's lying to me. But I guess, again, Riot Spaghetti Code.
Yeah, I think I saw it.
I don't know if you noticed the synergy there between Brisket and Cookie blasting 2 separate ways on the blast cone.
That was very good. I saw that as well. Brisket will never cease to troll his teammates even in a serious game, especially when we're this far ahead.
Yep. They're going to go ahead. They have that Azir tower in mid. It feels like Trine has no pressure. They can't go around the map freely. But as I say that, Risset's going to run into the Graves. He's going to go ahead and back off. He doesn't really need to fight that. There's no reason to. Going to go ahead and back off safely. Nestor hitting so hard already. All right. So right now it seems like Vision's going to be the name of the game for Mizzou. They're going to be looking to pressure out mid, pressure out top, and maybe look for a Baron call here. I mean, they're up 6k gold. The level differences are also huge. If you look at the top side, there's a 2-level difference between Paladin's Jax and Precipitous' Jax. And also, you can see it in the bot lane. Oh, now it's evened up. But even if you look at the CS difference between the top side and the bot side, you see 300 gold difference. Or 300 or 30 CS difference, excuse me, from the top side.
I think that's actually around 300 gold too as well. So you're right either way.
Yep, so even looking at all the gold totals, if you look at the top side, it's about a 2.5k gold difference. They're going to go ahead and get this tower, so it's going to be bumped up even more, almost a 3k gold difference. In the jungle, you're going to see a 600 gold difference. In the mid lane, a 300. In the bot lane, with also an almost 3,000, more closer to 2,000 gold difference. That's huge, though, when it comes to ADC. That's almost a full item difference there.
I think the biggest difference would actually be bot lane, just because it's 2 separate champs that are so far ahead, rather than just one cannon.
Mm-hmm. It's really, really good for them. I mean, they're really set up really well. I mean, I like the way that they built their comp, too. You can tell with the Jax pick and with the Graves pick that Trine was really looking towards more of a late game oriented comp, and picking that Caitlyn into that. Caitlyn scales so well and is an absolute monster once you get later into the game.
Yeah, I agree.
But with the backing the Mizzou's going to have to do to reset, Trine's going to get a little bit of vision back around that top side jungle. Yeah, but where they can actually farm in peace a little bit. Can actually play the game of League of Legends on their top side. Jax is going to go ahead and do what we thought he was going to do at the beginning, and that's just split push that bot side tower down.
Oh god, I think someone's actually vacuuming outside my door, so I might have to mute myself.
That is alright. It'd be like that sometimes.
I am sorry.
It's alright. A little bit of technical difficulties, I guess, coming out of Ben, but it's alright. We still got JQ here. So JQ, I know you've been a little bit quiet this time, but what do you think about the pacing of the game so far?
I think Mizzou has been taking this game really well. Like, they've had slight missteps, but nothing that's really cost them anything, and just propelled every lead that they've managed to take. Seems good.
Yeah, I completely agree. What it really shows to me is just the preparation that they have to do to become this, like, they're such a good team together. Like, they know what each other's going to be doing. I've listened to them in game before during scrims or during games, and their communication is, I feel like, one of the biggest keys. Where we're going to see in the bot lane, we're going to see the Jack trying to 1v1 of the Cannon, even though he's 2 levels up. Cannon's going to have to use his stopwatch. There's going to be 2 people on the bot side, but instead they're going to get some kills here. Graves is going to go ahead and go down. Cannon going to go ahead and try to 1v2 down here and ignite. Cannon might actually get out of there, but Jana's going to go ahead and flash for it. But she's going to pay for it as Mizzou's looking for that Baron, and they're going to get it, most likely, depending on if Riskit's smite is true. And we'll see if it is. Ganda's going to have to steal, but it's not going to matter. Found a Lux, found a Sivir. Riskit's going to have an R in there, steal the kill away from Kaylin, but that, I don't really think it matters. They got the Baron. They're up almost 10k gold in 25 minutes, 10 kills. I mean, even the leads that we highlighted earlier, when you're looking at the boss side, it went from a 2k gold lead on the side of Nestor, on Nestor's Kaylin, to a 3k gold lead in just a couple of minutes. I mean, it just seems like absolute dominance coming out of Mizzou right now.
As a whole, was very much ahead, but then Janna got 1,000 gold shutdown.
So you never know. The Janna is really known for the scaling. Getting that 1,000 gold shutdown is going to be really, really good for her.
Aren't quite as indicative as they used to be, but both of them are still really ahead of each other's laner.
Absolutely.
Even if only 600 gold up now.
But here, they're going to look for another dragon. They're going to look for their second cloud of the game. This is going to be their fourth dragon. With all the pressure they get, getting these extra dragons is actually going to set them up really well for when the Elder comes up as well. They have so much power right now. They have so much potential into this late game. Right now, I don't think they're really going to force anything. Instead, they're going to be focusing on trying to break these inner towers. You can see there seems to be a 3v3 in the mid lane. Lux is going to use her R there, but it's going to do pretty much nothing. Jax is getting a little bit caught out. He's going to use his counter strike, get a stun on one, but it's not going to matter as the Azir R goes in, and Jax is going to just get caught out. I don't know why he's playing so aggressive right there. It seems like his mental really is kind of boom right now.
Jax players always think they can carry.
See, the Jax has the same kind of thing as the Yasuo, where you always feel like it doesn't matter how far behind you are, you always feel like you can somehow win that 1v1, 2v1, 5v1. That's just the Jax mentality. But here we're going to see they're going to break the inhib, go ahead and head to that bot side inhib as well. It seems like with the Baron buff, they're going to look to maybe get some picks and end the game. Oh, actually they're not. They're going to back off, reset. They have no reason to really force anything. They're so far in the lead right now that forcing something right now isn't something that's going to end up being beneficial for them. So they're going to back off, reset, and get ready for what seems like could be the final push of this game one. I mean, Mizzou's just having such a clean game right now. It's just macro play all around. Even just in the 1v1 lanes. It just seems like the laners from Mizzou are just outperforming the laners from Trine University. Not only that, but there's such a big jungle difference between the Graves influence and the J4's difference. I mean, Riskit has just had so much pressure this entire game one. He's been able to do what he wants, and Graves just is sitting here just walking around being more of a decoy than an actual jungler. But they're going to head and break that third inhibitor tower. That is really, really, really good for them. That's going to set them up to finish this final push. They have supers coming in from... It's going to start from all sides. We're going to get a Q coming into the Sivir. Sivir did spell shield. It's going to be Sivir down. This seems like the final team fight with the Azir R, the Kennen R, the J4R just going to finish it up. Nestor might go down here, but instead he's going to lose this perfect KDA, but it's not going to matter. The Jax is going to go down. That's 4 dead from the side of Trine. Now it's just going to be finishing the game up, getting those 2 last towers, and finishing the game right now. Riskit's going to play a little bit of grass. He's going to BM, actually. The Graves is already getting BM'd in his own chat. You don't have to BM him in-game as well. Instead, he's going to kill him. That was just to show a message right there, Riskit. There's a reason on why he has murder on his mind. And he showed it right there. Really clean play overall coming out of Mizzou. in almost every single facet of the game, just absolutely showing their dominance in every single way. Really, really good there. They showed that they are a really, really solid team. But with that, Mizzou's going to go ahead and go up 1-0.
Yes, sir. I like how Nestor during that fight, he was being focused by Jax that whole time, but he was somehow able to survive until his team was able to come. He did die in the end, but the fact that he kept Jax out of the fight was very big indeed, especially since Jax was actually their most fed player by the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And with that, I was removed from the game again. It be like that sometimes. But with that, I think we're going to hopefully hop straight into the next game once I get an invite. But overall, just super clean play all around. They really showed their dominance pretty much everywhere. Good showing from everybody.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna hop out on the other chat now, and thank you guys for having me.
All right, man. Thank you, and good luck on the next game.
Yeah, thank you.
You. All right, and with that, it's back to just me and JQ. What we are going to have on the side of Mizzou is we're actually going to have a substitution. Nestor, even though he went... wait, is Nestor being subbed out with I Only Solo Queue? Ben?
That's what I heard. That's the last thing I heard. We will confirm that in a bit.
Yep. Yeah, I think we are going to have a substitution. Doesn't matter how good he played. We're going to go ahead and have Ben have his try here to pop off just as hard as Nestor did, or even better. I mean, let's go ahead and look at this damage chart. It's really going to show the way of the game. I mean, if we look at graphs right now, it doesn't really show, but the overall dominance, game one, the charts will never show the dominance of the macro play and the influence and the pressure and the way they're able to set up lanes for each other. Just such a strong showing coming out of Mizzou. It's just really, really nice to see. And this is something that they have to do. This is do or die at this point. They have to win these games to make sure that they can move on and have a chance to getting into the playoffs. Really, really good showing. They're going to go ahead and go up 1-0. Hopefully the FPS is fixed and the cutting out. JQ, am I cutting out anymore?
I have not heard you cut out since you fixed it.
Absolutely. That's what I like to hear. All right. So now we're just waiting to go ahead and hop into game. Real quick, we'll see what happened. I mean, even if you look at the end game screen here, look at the gold difference between every lane. I mean, you have a 3K gold lead between the Kennen and the Jax. Jax was the most fed player, and he was down 3K gold to the opposing top lane. Riskit having a 2K gold lead. We don't really give Riskit a lot of credit. We really focus Paladin or Bismarck or Nestor, but Riskit has so much pressure in these games. He's able to do what he wants when he wants. He has a plan what he's going to do, and he always executes. That's what you get when you have somebody like Riskit as your jungler. You're having somebody who is going to know what he wants to do, and he's going to be able to push his lanes further ahead. That's really, really good. Other than that, Bismarck also had a really, really good game. I mean, the R's that he had were just incredible. You don't really see a lot of Azir, but he played it to perfection. He didn't even go Conqueror. Instead, he went Hail of Blades Azir. Nestor just popping off how he always does. That's just a Nestor special when he gets Caitlyn. When Nestor gets Caitlyn, he's known just to pop off. That's what he does. That's what we have him here for. And he just does it every single time he's on the Rift. And then you have Cookie. Cookie always having the most kill participation between games or in game. That's just what he does. Really, really good support. Always playing really safe, knowing when he can push the advantages that he needs to and knowing when he can. We're going to go ahead, hop into the in-game lobby. Hopefully, get ready for this next game and get into it pretty quick. Or at least we can hope so. Mizzou's going to go ahead and be on the blue side. They're going to go ahead and switch, which is also pretty dang good for him. Red side, you get that first pick, which is really, really good. And you also get you get the first pick, which is really, really good. Sorry, my brain spaced out for a second there. But first pick, you're able to really get whatever you want that didn't get banned out. You get that first priority pick. It's super strong. You also get the first ban. It really gets to set this tone of how the champ select is going to go when you have that ret side. On the other side, we're going to have Trine University. It's interesting to see how they come back from that. Just seemed like an embarrassing loss all around. There didn't seem to be a single winning lane. Just absolute destruction on the side of Mizzou, showing their macro play, showing their coaching. An interesting thing to see there is Paladin was up 2 levels, but when you look at the rank difference, you have a Grandmaster top lane against Paladin only at Diamond 3. Paladin's ability is so much higher than his rank shows. When you're able to get 2 levels ahead against the enemy laner, while a big part of that is the jungle difference, having that extra pressure from J4, just in general, him being able to lane as good as he is just incredible to see against a player like Imperseus, who knows? Some name I can't pronounce. JQ, can you pronounce that for me? Imperceptus. All right, there you go. I mean, his name doesn't really matter when he gets absolutely smashed like he did. He might as well just be called Jackspot at that point.
I think one thing to really note here is for Imperceptus, his champion statistics this season is 169 games of Vladimir, but 18 of Jax.
Oh my god! I guess that was the reason for the Vladimir ban coming out of Paladin in that last ban that they had in the first phase. Getting rid of that Vladimir. I mean, when you have somebody like whatever his name is, I'm just going to call him Jackspot because that's what he essentially was that last game. Having somebody like once you get your pick, your power pick that you're climbing with, once you don't get that, you're not really comfortable. And that's what Paladin really preys on. Paladin preys on the enemy laner when they're not comfortable in the position that they are. And even if they pick a champion that's one of their comfort picks, he just makes them still super, super uncomfortable. But with that, it seems like we're getting some ready calls in the chat, so we're probably going to be heading into the champ the pick ban session of game 2, and that's what we are going to be seeing. All right. Mizzou's going to have that first ban. And what kind of bans do you want to see coming out of Mizzou? Do you think they should stick with the same bans as last game, or should they try something different?
I mean, the last bans worked for them. I see no reason not to try the same.
You're definitely not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. And that's actually what we're seeing. We're seeing a Syndra ban. First bans from both teams just being the exact same. With the Aurelion Soul, with the Syndra, seems like they're just sticking to what they did last time, which is good to see. Well, it's good to see coming out of Mizzou. I don't know if it's really good to see coming out of Trine. If the bans weren't the problem, what do they think the problem was with that game? They have to take some of these power picks out of Mizzou's side, but instead they're just going to pretty much ban the same thing with the Aurelion Soul and the Zillion ban coming out of Trine University, and the Kha'Zix and Syndra. Pretty much a replay of game 1 when it comes to the bans. We're going to see if we're probably going to see this Vladimir ban, since he does have 162 games played. Maybe. I guess they really have to think about it. We're not. We're not going to see the Vladimir ban. Instead, they're going to ban out the Thresh. That's a really interesting ban. Paladin is challenging. Absolutely challenging this Vladimir top. He's looking at that Vladimir in the eyes. He's looking at Trine's top laner, and he's telling them, I am a better player than you by doing that. Oh, instead he's actually going to pick it from him. That is a grown man pick. That's even more disrespectful. That's one of the most disrespectful things I've ever seen. Picking the Vladimir. I mean, Vladimir is one of his power picks. He picked it last week, and it was so good in the hands of Paladin. And it's just a pick that he's always been able to use well. And it seems like we're going to go ahead and get that meat bomb, the Tom Blade, Scion. Scion just doesn't really want to do anything. I think he's pretty much been delegated to being the ult bot and the tank bot. But instead, they're also going to take the J4 away from Risk It. So I think we're probably going to see a Sejuani or a Zac Blade. Instead, he might actually get a little bit more aggressive with the Kayn. Not last time I checked on Risket's op.gg on his can win rate, it was a 0%. But his Sejuani is like an 83%, which is a really good pick here. He's going to head and pick the Sejuani. Going to have that team fight presence with the R. Going to be able to turn whatever he wants. A lot of influence all around the map with that. I think a really good pick into J4. If J4 puts an R on him, he can just go ahead and Q out. Just dash out like it never happened. Vladimir also good against that J4 because he can just pull away from it. But we're going to see the Jax pick. We might see the Vladimir in the mid lane and the Jax top. That's such a surprise. I mean, I respect it because they're taking the Vladimir away from Trine University's top laner. And at the same time, they're giving themselves a really good power pick, and they're also getting a Jax. If anybody who watched last week, Paladin's Jax 1v9 the game last week in game 2 to clutch that game out. 1v9. They left it up again. Not a single top lane ban. I mean, they really went towards 3 mid lane bans. But what they're going to go ahead and do is they're going to ban out the Leona, ban out the power pick that they have. Cookie still has a couple supports in his arsenal. One of the supports we saw last time was the Morgana. His Morgana Qs, I don't think he missed a single one that I saw. 100% hit rate. It's either because he's insane, or the person last game was the opposite of insane. Or he might have just went full, like absolutely lost his brain. We're going to see an Orianna ban. So already seeing 5 mid lane bans. Mid lane seems to be a priority from both sides. We're not even seeing a support ban coming out of Mizzou. They don't want to really close out their pool. We see the Ezreal there from the last pick from Trine University. So they're going to go ahead and ban another support. They're going to ban out that Nami. Not having the bubble there is going to be really good for him. The team fighting potential with the R is going to be gone as well. Out of Cookie's hands. Which I think is definitely a smart ban. They're not putting a single ban into ADC. They are really disrespecting Ben right now. We're going to go ahead and see that Lux ban. Lux, he did... Cyrus really did have a really good Lux game last game. It just didn't really matter once every other lane got super ahead. We're going to see what Trine is going to be prioritizing here. Could be a support, or could be a mid lane, and we are going to see the mid lane ban. We're going to see the Zoe ban, or the Zoe pick, excuse me. That's one of JQ's favorite, isn't it?
Hey, you bet. Not even ironically, Zoe's one of my main champions.
Absolutely, one of his top 2 played mid laners, I believe. Something around that. Something he likes to pull out every so often. Really good pick, really good burst. But we're gonna see the Morgana. We saw the Morgana last game. Last week. It seems like Trine University didn't do any research when it comes to how well Mizzou performed last game in the individual champions, giving away that Morgana, which was a pick that I think they picked both games, and he absolutely smashed lane with it. But we're going to go ahead and see what they're going to be picking in the bot side here. We're seeing a Malzahar. So I think what we're going to see, do you think we're going to see a Jax top Vladimir bot? Malzahar mid?
Vladimir bot.
Some spicy picks. You love to see the spice coming out here. With the 3 mages, the only damage, physical damage, is the Sejuani and the Jax. The Jax being the main one. We're going to see a Riven pick. So they have a really weird... So I guess it's going to be really interesting to see how they frame this entire thing. I guess it could be a Riven top. Sion. Are we going to see the Zoe support?
See the Zoe support. It is the Zoe. Wait.
We're seeing the Zoe support. In game 2, they're pulling out all the spice with a Sion top, Riven mid, Zoe support against the... This doesn't even look like we're in the right season. We don't even have a single person that's going to be building crit. I think we're in Season 8 again. I think we went back in time to Season 8. To back when this was the meta. other than the Zoe bot. That's kind of a questionable, and it's definitely not a very good pick into the Morgana. Morgana can just eat whatever he wants. Vladimir can go ahead and pull it. So you're going to have the pull from Vladimir, stopping the Zoe bubbles. And you're going to see Morgana using her Black Shield. We're going to go ahead and get that 3-minute delay. So looking at the team comp, what do you think is going to be Mizzou's win condition here?
That's a great. It looks like a catch comp.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is so weird. I don't know.
Yeah, this is definitely not. I mean, I guess when you throw in Ben, when you throw in I only solo queue, it turns into an entirely different game, I guess. This is, I mean, I really respect it. Not being afraid to play something different. And it's going to be really interesting once we get the opportunity after this game or after the full set to see why exactly every pick was picked. And looking at the side of Trine University, what exactly do you think that their win condition is?
They're also kind of a catch comp. I That's a great question. These teams have very similar like styles of what they want to do. Hard to tell what's gonna happen.
Definitely a weird game. Not something that you would think that you would be seeing, but I'm glad to see it. I'm definitely glad to see it. But yeah, 1 minute going in. There's something I would really like. One of the most important things that I think is going here is seeing at the team fighting ultimate that everybody has. When you look at the side of Trine University, you have that Scion R, which is really, really good at starting a fight. It's really good engage tool, along with the Jarvan. J4 Scion is not really a combination you see often because the Jarvan R kind of ruins the Scion R if J4 uses R first. So I guess the team cohesion, it's something that I know our team has definitely put away forever because what you tend to see is you see the Scion just ulting into the J4R. But you also get the Zoe having that bubble put to sleep, and also can pretty much she has so much burst with the way that her champion is designed. I mean, Zoe's really there to be somebody to burst them out, not somebody you necessarily see often in the support role. By often, I mean you don't really see her ever, and when you do, usually times niner for trolling. But I really like the creativity on both sides, both teams not being afraid to be a little bit creative. And on the side of Mizzou, you have the Jax, who's really, really good at going into a fight and cleaning it up. We saw that last week. Sejuani R, which is really good at rooting a target in place. So when she throws that out, she's going to hit a target, and that target's not going to be able to move for a little bit. Being able to really engage that target, get ourselves the advantage. And then the Malzahar R pretty much has the same goal. Puts them in place. I think what's really good about the team comp of Mizzou is that even if you buy a QSS, even if you buy something to cleanse it, it's not going to matter. You can't really cleanse everything that they have. It's just really, really good team comp coming out of both sides. You really, really love to see it, honestly. A lot of creativity being put in place, a lot of not being afraid to do anything. And that's something you really, really love to see. We're going to go in here. We're going to do like we do every single time, we're going to go ahead and look at the difference in skins. Right now, I think that...
Ooh.
What's up?
I think Trine won the skin game this time.
I honestly have to agree. I mean, all those skins are just super clean, but we're going to go ahead and already hop into game. Look at that. My computer no longer a potato between game 1 and game 2. That's what you really love to see here. Very, very nice. They seem like they want to invade that top side. I think maybe we're going to see. I guess not. They're just question marking it because why not? And what else would you do other than question mark it? We're going to go ahead and see them. Seems like a 5-point start from both sides. Almost. Other than Morgana taking a little bit to get to her side. Alright. Seems to just be a little bit of chilling right now. J4 just sitting there. Jax is just sitting there. They can engage if they really want to. They seem like they're not really worried about the Riven roaming down into his blue. I think we're probably going to be seeing a red side start coming out of Sejuani, but not entirely for sure. I think something that's really interesting, I guess it could be a Scion mid, actually. Oh no, it's definitely a Riven mid. No, wait. With a Riven going top, are we seeing a Scion mid, Riven top? That is really, really interesting. Being as creative as they possibly can be. And they get the ward already up 10 gold! It's the small advantages that matter. They get that vision advantage, they get that gold advantage. They can go up here and place that deeper ward. Really, really good for them. Brisket's going to start. They're both going to start with their red buffs. Their own red buffs, respectively. It seems like we're actually going to get a switch. The top side and mid side from last game on the side of Trine are actually going to switch sides. Switch roles, I guess. I guess the matchup, the Riven and Jax, is something that he just really enjoys playing into. He's completely okay with it. I guess they use that Scion as a flex pick. We're going to see Zoe's just able to poke for free there. Really, really good for her. That's going to be really, really annoying for Mizzou to have to fight against. But we're already seeing almost like an early game gank coming out of the top side here. But I guess not. He's just going for that crab. They're going to go ahead and trade crabs. Which is what you like to see. Coming out of Mizzou, a lot of poke on the side of Trine in this bot lane. It's going to be a really abusive lane for this Vladimir and this Morgana to really go against. There's not really much they can do. They really have to focus on farming. For the most part, they do have a better power spike at 6. The power spike of Vladimir Morgana. Whenever you have Zoe, whenever she gets 6, it doesn't really change much about her general power as a champion in a lane like bot lane. It gives her a little bit more bursting power, but instead we're actually going to see Paladin getting ganked to the top lane, but going to get that counter strike off, so it's not really going to matter. Going to be able to back off. Not really going to miss much. Big Mark just getting slapped up by that big hammer. Actually, might get solo killed. Instead, he's actually going to go back, do a little poking. Cookie's also going to get poked out. Seems like a lot of poke. Risket's going to have to, there's going to be a fight in his bot side. Risket's going to try to fight it. He has nobody roaming down to him. He's going to have to back off for a flash, but he's not going to flash. We're seeing a whole lot of action already. Trine coming out with a vengeance this game, playing super, super aggressive in every single lane. It's really different games between last game and this game. Mizzou seems kind of nervous to be in this situation. They're not really prepared for this super aggressive Trine right now. Brisket's going to go ahead and trade a little bit. Oh, we might actually solo kill him. We might have to see a flash coming out of the J4 if he doesn't have his EQ combo to get out. You might see it, actually. Nope, he's actually going to go ahead and get that. He's going to get out for free. That's alright. We're seeing TP being blown in the mid lane. Which is alright. I think we might actually have to not do that. Alright. We could do that, though. Make it a little bit more sense on the spectating side. I got you guys. Let me cut it all nice for you. Paladin losing a lot of these early trades because of that J4 gank top. J4 is having a lot of pressure. Using his advantage is really good. The bot lane doing what they do best on the side of Trine, getting a lot of poke. But Cookie, he never misses those. That's just the Cookie special right there. He's not one to miss his cues really at all. That's one of his strong points about his game. He's just really, really accurate. It's something he definitely practices a lot. Even when he bans out his own Thresh, it doesn't even matter. Because he knows that his Morgana is just as good, if not better. Especially with the comfort. So if you see sums-wise, we're already seeing three TPs being used. One on the side of Scion. TPing to get back the lane at the same time as the Malzahar on the side of Mizzou. So Bismarck and the Scion both using their TPs a little bit early. Bismarck actually being really low in mana because he's being forced to hold the lane like that. Scion out-pushes super hard in this matchup. So a little bit hard for Bismarck, especially once you get 6. The Scion has so much influence in other lanes because of his R. He can go pretty much all across map. But something I think is really, really interesting is right now you're seeing J4 steal away the Wraiths. Not being afraid to push up a little far, play a little bit aggressive, because he knows that the mid laner from Mizzou doesn't have any mana, so even if he goes down, it can't really help. Right now, Mizzou putting down a little bit of a deep ward, but it'll be alright. And I think they're going to be going for this Cloud Drake, actually. The early Cloud advantages, this is something that we heard last game, last Champ Select when we were talking to Ben. Whenever Ben was talking about one of the biggest goals is getting early dragons. Dragons is something that's really, really big. The Paladin going to go ahead and trade a little bit on the top side. Lose the trade a little bit, but it's alright. He had that 6 advantage, so he really had to go for it. Level difference as well in the mid lane, 1 level down. But we're going to go ahead and see. That dragon's just going to go for free. Not really much that they can do to contest it on the side of Trine University. I guess that's what happens. Here's always going to get a little bit of poke off, but right now the pushing power is really going to go in. We're going to get a Q onto the Zoe. The Zoe's going to have to flash out. That's a flash and a heal used from the Trine bot lane already. The Ignite being used on the side of Morgana, on the side of Mizzou, but it's not really going to matter. They lose a little bit of kill pressure there, but instead, Trine's going to lose that escape power and that survivability, which means they're not going to be as eager to have aggressive pushes or have that aggression in the lane. He's just getting hit again. He just seems like he's just eating all of these Qs. I don't know what's up with the supports when they play against Cookie, but just the absolute technological genius that is Cookie just allows them to really be aggressive when he wants to and really throws out the Qs and hit him almost every single time. I think one of the biggest things to look at right now is the level difference and CS difference. You got a 1 level difference in the top lane. Paladin showing his dominance on that Jax. Even though he's down 1 CS, or now he's even, he's still able to have that XP advantage because of how he manages the waves. He's actually going to hurt the Riven more right now by pushing that wave in a tower, making sure that the Riven is going to lose even more XP, which is really, really good for him. Sets him up really good for when he comes back to lane. In the mid side, we have a even advantage when it comes to leveling, but about a 7 CS difference, about a wave difference between the two. Which is alright. Malzahar, it's okay with that. He's really used as an old bot and to push waves, have influence other lanes. And in the bot lane, we see a 1 level difference. It's going to be a really, really small one. Excuse me, but the 1 level, if they really want to go in, they could. But instead, you're going to see the Vladimir back, TP back to lane so he doesn't lose any experience there. Bismarck and the Scion are just going to be hitting each other a little bit, but because Scion's a meatball and Malzahar doesn't take any damage, it doesn't really matter too much. He's actually going to get a really good trade on him. He's going to proc that Conquer, but he's going to go ahead and back off. Gets a Conquer, he gets the passive, but he's not going to take the fight. He knows that Riven, with her R, has the advantage there when it comes to when they're being even like that. His goal is just be trading enough where he can put himself in a position to have an advantage trade that's going to be advantage enough to actually have a really good gank there. Excuse me, to actually 1v1 him there. Something that's actually really important to see here is they have 2 people going towards top. Paladin's getting the full experience coming into the top side. We're going to get an R going out of Paladin. He's going to drop his counter-strike. He's not going to flash out because he used his flash earlier. Instead, he's going to go down for first blood. Really clean gank coming out of Trine University right there. Just being able to go up there, use the Scion R, use the Riven R, use everything R, but instead we're going to get a gank on the bot lane. We're going to see the Ezreal go down, given to Vladimir. We're actually going to see them play really, really aggressive for the R coming out of Morgana. They're going to go ahead and get that kill. It's going to be 2 kills in the bot lane. And some plates gone as well. It's going to give them a really, really good advantage. Even in plates that they traded there. So I think overall the trades that went down there, I think Mizzou really won the trade battle there. If you look at the sums that were busted in the bot lane, the only thing you really had busted was Morgana had to use her flash just to get a little bit closer to the Zoe to confirm that kill. But when you compare the support flash to the other, but Trine University's Ezreal also had a flash at the same time, I think that's overall beneficial for them. They got 2 kills compared to the 1 of Trine University, and they got 1 extra plate as well. So overall, Mizzou is in a really good position. That's what you can tell about one of the great coaching that they have, is they can see themselves in disadvantages where they give up first blood and they give a little bit of pressure on the top lane. But what they do instead is they find that proactive play in the mid lane where they can make sure that they're not going to go down. Instead, they're going to go ahead in gold. And they're going to put themselves in a really good position for later in this game. Vladimir getting the kill. That's also really, really good. Vladimir skills like an animal. Late game. Paladin's going to go and trade a little bit. It seems like they're just going to hit each other a little bit. Not really going to matter too much. You're going to see that Risket's going to be looking towards this Rift Herald. Rift's going to be really good to get it when he gets it. It seems like they really have... Oh, in the bot lane. I don't know what just happened, but there was actually just a kill given off. I guess Cookie stepped up a little bit too far, got hit with a Zoe bubble, and went down for it. But Risket's going to go ahead and still get that. Still get that Rift Herald. It seems like there seems to be a lot of focus on Mizzou sides on objectives. They seem to get all the objectives in every game they play, and that's one of the biggest things. But instead, we're going to get a 1v2 in the bot lane. We're going to see Paladin 1v1ing in the top lane. Then he's going to jump off. I'm a solo queue, going to do a little bit of damage there. Oh, we see the R coming in. It says running a beautiful R onto the Riven, but instead they're going to back off. They don't want to dive in. They know the Riven has R, and they know they want to be as safe as they need to. They don't need to be forcing plays like that, and they know that. They're a smart team. Instead, they're going to rift up there, get themselves that lane advantage. Bot lane's going to go down. That Ezreal is getting caught in the Morgana queue. Just misplaying, mispositioning. J4 is going to go ahead and get that dragon in the bot lane. Going to get that the Ocean Dragon, but I think with the kills that were traded off, and a lot of the plates in the top lane, that overall Mizzou won that. The biggest thing about the bot lane now is they're playing so much more aggro, and they're able to because of how exactly they're winning the lane right now. They're overall just asserting their dominance all over the bot lane. Just Cookie being able to hit the Qs. The Vladimir's a really good pick into the Ezreal Zoe. It was overall really good team comp build, but instead Cookie's just not going to take it. He says, no, I'm not taking that damage for you. I'm the carry now. Instead of stepping in front of it, he just decided, you know what? I'm tired of it. Even though he took 2 kills, he's going to let him die for it. It's alright though, it happens occasionally. It really be like that sometimes.
Hate to see it.
You really do hate to see it. Just not even thinking about tanking it or dropping a black shield on him. That's unlucky. If I was I only solo queue, I would be not too happy right now, but I think they're ahead enough in lane where it doesn't really matter. We're gonna get a TP out of Malzahar to get back in the lane. Rissu's gonna be focusing on getting that vision in the bot side jungle. Maybe prep up for that bot side gank to get that first tower. It seems like something they're really going to be focusing on here is that first tower. The first tower is going to be huge for them. It actually seems like the Risket's getting ready for a dive as well, actually. But instead, we might actually see a mid lane gank. Instead, we're not going to see it. Instead, Risket's just chilling there. Going to be seen out by the ward. Who's going to back off. Bismarck getting a little bit too far ahead, but he's not going to see that the J4 is there, but instead he's going to have to flash out. That's alright for him. Gonna trade a little bit. Cookie gonna get half his health bar taken away because Zoe's a fair and balanced champion to play against. They're gonna get that first tower. But only solo Q might get taken out. Actually, he dodges it. Cookie gets the Q. He's gonna actually die for his ADC that time. Saving Private Vladimir that time. Good stuff out of him. And now we're also gonna see Bismarck 1v1ing in the mid lane. We're gonna see Paladin and Cyrix 1v1ing in the top lane, with Paladin really winning that. He can dive it if he wants to, but he's not going to go ahead and have to. Instead, we're going to see Risket take a little bit of poke here, but not too crazy amount. He's going to lose some XP. But overall, I think that's alright with him. They got that first tower, which is good for him. Can't really complain, but overall, one of the biggest things to highlight is even though Mizzou is down a kill, they're still up 700 gold, which is really, really good. It'd be interesting that 700 gold, you see a little bit of it in the bot lane. Cookie seems to be, the bot lane seems to be 100 gold up. The top side's where you really see it, about a 400 gold difference. Really, really good for him. Risket just getting really out of position, getting himself caught out there. I don't know exactly what he was doing there. Maybe he was trying to force a little something, but didn't work out overall. Alright, so JQ, when looking at the game so far, what do you think Mizzou should really be focusing on if they're going to be able to win this game?
I mean, they just have objectives win games. Just keep going for the objectives. It's a lot.
It seems
Lanes
like
are
to me.
kind of the lanes are a lot more even than like the map would make you look.
Mhm.
So if you look at the gold, I believe it's just slightly in Trine's favor.
Yep, but right there we're gonna actually see. Sorry for cutting you off there. But we're gonna actually see a 1-for-1, a 2-for-1 trade. Double kill going on to the Ezreal and J4 dying for that. Overall, Trine definitely won that trade, and it seems like right now that they're team fighting better. It seems like I don't know if it was, I don't know if Briscoe was out of position or what, but he just wasn't a factor in that fight right there. Probably not a fight that Mizzou should have taken. With that, they're gonna go down 3 kills. It's gonna be 4 kills to 7. They lost their gold lead as well, so even though they got those extra objectives, it didn't really matter too much. Something that's going to be really important is this next dragon that's going to come up. It is an Infernal Drake. The top left is not lying to me this time, like it has every other time. But if you look at the mini-map in the bottom right, you can see that Trine really seems like they want to play for this objective. Like JQ said, getting the objective control is going to be really, really big for Mizzou. But it seems like because they're a little bit behind and really out of position, they're going to have to give up this Infernal. Unless Riskit's going to go to steal for it. That's what Riskit's named for. His name is Riskit because he's known to risk it. He has no vision there, so he went for it, but he's not going to be able to do it. Instead, he's going to have to flash on over. Give up the Infernal Drake over to try something they really didn't want to do there. When you have an Ezreal, when you have a Zoe, when you have a Scion, the J4, the Riven, red buff, synergizes, or excuse me, the Infernal Drake synergizes so well with them. Cookie's going to head and throw out that Q. It's Condor with it, but not much really going to go out with it. Just a little bit of poke damage. Instead, they're going to seem like they're looking more for a reset. Which is alright. It seems like right now what Mizzou is probably going to focus on is allowing the Jax to get really, really big. Jax already has a 1k gold lead, and getting that ahead, letting him carry out the game, playing through him is going to be the goal of Mizzou at this point, is what I think. Bismarck taking a lot of damage from the Scion. Scion might actually 1v1 him up there. He is going to get that 1v1. Just solo killing in the top lane. On the bottom side, Paladin going for this kill down here against the Riven. Put a little bit of damage down, but J4 is going to head and ult. And he's going to go down for it. Scion is going to go down the top side, but a 2-for-1 trade on the map isn't really great for Mizzou there. Mizzou putting himself at a disadvantage, for sure. It seems like it's a much different Mizzou team this game compared to last game. I mean, the aggression's not there. It also seems like the confidence isn't there. They went for a little bit of a different team comp.
They did swap an ADC, but their top lane and mid lane did swap at the beginning of the game. So, hey, there's Nestor in chat saying it's because he's not there.
Might have to, maybe sub Nestor back in? I'm not entirely for sure what's up. Maybe it might be because, I don't know. I'm almost feel like he might be a little cold right now. He wasn't able to play and warm up the game before this. He wasn't the one playing ADC, and Stormblessed was. Instead, Cookie put himself a little bit out of position, but J4's not going to go for it. Doesn't really have much he can do to confirm it, so you're just going to back off, make Cookie a little bit scared, make him back off a little bit more, delay him getting back into lane. Which is overall, I think, alright for him. Not too much of an issue. Right now, there is a 1.3k gold lead. But you have to remember that Mizzou has been down way more than this in a game before and absolutely came back. It's really going to be an indicator on how exactly Paladin is able to carry this game, or how Mizzou decides to focus one of their carries. They have to have somebody carry. Scion's going to have that advantage in the solo lane. He's just pushing out lanes right now. He's having a lot of pressure on the top side, getting that top side tower. It's going to get a little bit hit, but it's not really going to matter. He's going to head and run out there a little bit. Alright. Securing a little bit of vision. It seems like maybe the change on the top... Actually, I feel like the difference right now is the bot lane difference. I mean, there's a 1.1k gold lead between the Ezreal and the Vladimir. I mean, 4-2 and 2 to carry 1-2 and 3. It seems right now Stormblessed is having a much stronger game against Only Solo Q. I don't know if it was the Vladimir into the Ezreal, or what it was, but it seems like right now just the Ezreal up a level as well just seems to be so much stronger. And I mean, almost everywhere on the board you're seeing a level advantage. You see a level advantage in the mid lane. You see a level advantage in both bot laners. Right now, Trine's just really far ahead in XP, up 2k gold, up 4 kills, has Infernal and Ocean. They're just set up really good for this late game, and they're really ahead right now. It's going to be really interesting to see what exactly Mizzou has in play to be able to come back and actually put themselves in a position to win this game. It'd be very, very interesting to see. Alright, so right now, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of farming. They have no reason to really force anything right now. Clear out a little bit of vision when they need to. Make sure that the main objective is going to be coming up next is that Baron and that Dragon. Dragon is an Ocean Drake, so Mizzou is going to be looking to get that Ocean Drake to kind of even up the Drakes right there. We're going to go ahead and get this mid tower. Still able to push their advantages in lanes when they need to make sure they can get a little bit of advantages everywhere. That just shows how well coached of a team they are. There's really a coaching difference, I think, between them. And now they're actually going to go for the next objective on the board, which is going to be that Ocean Drake. We might see Trine actually go for this. We see a miscue coming out of Morgana, and said there's going to be a big fight here. Morgana pops her R, but doesn't get anything for it. Malzahar going to put an R onto its condo, but nothing's really going to matter. Instead, we're going to get 1 down, 2 down out of Mizzou, but they're going to trade that Morgana and a Malzahar for the J4. Paladin's just doing what he does best whenever he's in team fights, and he's just taking control of the team fight. Risket's going to go down. Already a 3-for-2 trade. We're going to see a 4-for-2 trade. Favor to Trine University there. They're going to go ahead and get this drag as well. I don't know if that was a problem with the vision or the positioning. But overall, Trine just had a very, very strong team fight there. They showed it right now. Trine's just using their advantages and really getting ahead in this game. Still up 3k gold, up 7 kills, has 3 drags to 1. Just overall being put in a very, very good position and making it where this next fight could really open up the game. Because of the Baron being up, whoever wins this next fight, if it's an overwhelming win, it's really going to set themselves up to gain really, really, really good control over the map. Alright. Right now it seems like they're just going to go back to farming. Get their gold up. Get ready for this next fight. Buff's going down to both laners. Or buff going down to the Malzahar, to the J4. I guess not both laners. Mizzou's going to go ahead and play for a little bit of vision. They have no... I mean, when you look at the vision difference, it's really interesting to see. I mean, when you see a Mizzou, this is the extent of their vision. They really have none. But on Trine, I guess they have more vision right here and right here, but not too much overall. Overall, I guess vision really is an issue between both of them. But, so we're going to see how the solo queue is going to be soloing against the Scion. Even though he's 3 levels down, he's just able to poke and run off, not really take too much damage. It seems like a complete 180 from last game to this game. So JQ, what do you think is the reason on why this game is so much different than the first one?
I think so for one, the mid lane does have a little bit of difference there. That Scion is a grandmaster because he was the top grandmaster from last game, and I guess he just knows Scion better than he knows Jax. He's been using his champion to its extent, roaming and punishing and smacking people down.
Mm-hmm.
As for bot lane, they've just been managing to get good pokes, and yes, Zoe Bubble Morgana shield is not as strong against Zoe as I thought it would be.
Yeah, no, I don't know if it's maybe a cooldown difference or what, but It seems like it was way more effective in that lane, and they were just able to push those advantages. I guess one of the big questions going to happen after this game is, why the Vladimir in the bot lane? Why not? I mean, it's a crit ADC meta. It seems like not picking crit in this meta is kind of trolling. And it's going to be really interesting to see the why on that pick. But if you guys didn't know that why, you guys are going to have to wait until after this series is over, where we're going to be able to interview the team of Mizzou, see what they were thinking throughout the game. And we're actually going to be able to, if they win the game, you guys will be able to pick the MVP of the game. So if I were you guys, I would stick around for that. We'll see if Cookie can be the 2-time reigning MVP rather than the 1. He won MVP last game for his insane performances on Morgana. But until then, we're going to see how this game goes. So right now, you see that Trine already has a 3K gold lead. Still keeping pretty even in the gold, I guess. Mizzou's not falling too far behind. But it's really interesting when you see a team that's as far ahead as Trine. You would think they'd be forcing it a lot more, but instead they're just sitting back and waiting. I don't know if that's the best for them because they have this advantages and they're not pushing this advantage. They're really going to let Mizzou scale up into monsters if they keep on waiting this long. I mean, the longer that they let this Jax stay, and the longer they let this Jax farm, the worse off they get.
See one reason for this, and that's if you look at mid, bot, and support, you'll see they have bounties. So if Mizzou ever comes back from a fight somehow, they are suddenly in the lead.
Mm-hmm. I guess you're definitely right.
So playing slow definitely seems like a better call here. Don't risk your lead to throw it away. Just let it simmer.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So what do you think is going to be the catalyst to, like, what do you think is going to be the sign for trying to say, this is when we go in, this is when we fight? Or do you think they're going to look more towards somebody being out of position, or what do you think?
I think if Zoe hits a bubble is probably the best indicator of, okay, this fight is starting now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a bubble and everyone is there, that is when the fight will start.
Oh, but on the other hand, you see Mizzou putting themselves in a good position that they're going to go for Baron off this. They get 1 kill and they're going to go straight to Baron. I don't think Trine really thinks they're going to be doing this, but they are. They're forcing it up. This is something they really have to do. It's a really good play for them. Trine instead just going to do really nothing for it. Oh my god, he stole the Baron with the Ezreal. That's so unlucky for Mizzou, but such a good play out of the Ezreal. I guess Risk It Smite's not as true as it has been every other time. They're going to lose both the Baron, and they're going to be losing the Dragon there. I don't know what happened there. That's Ezreal with a great R there to secure that. Really, really unlucky from Mizzou.
Risk did smite, so like it must have lived with like 2 health when the Ezreal came through. That is so unfortunate.
Yeah, I guess he just got a little bit nervous from it. But that happens. It's all right. I mean, again, Mizzou's come back from worse. Still only a 3.5k gold difference. But with the Baron buff on the side of Trine, they're going to be able to push out these towers, expand that gold lead to a little bit more. They also have a 4 towers to 1 advantage. There's J4 getting caught out again, but it's not really going to matter. Actually, they're going to be able to maybe fight this R down, but instead the Malzahar is going to be taking out R down from J4, R from Ezreal, and instead it's going to be a 1-for-0, might be a 2-for-0, depending on if Island suddenly gets taken out. Instead he's going to have to flash out, but instead he's still going to be taken out because the flash from the Riven, they're actually going to get Risk It as well. That's going to be a 3-for-0 trade in favor of Trine University. You really hate to see it happen, but with this, I think they're going to be looking for the end, really. I mean, there's not really much that the 2 members of the Mizzou that are up right now can do. The Jax and Morgana can't really start an all-out push between them. I think they're going to be really looking for the end here. With that, they're going to get that first inhibitor tower. Malzahar is coming up, so they might try to force a fight, but instead, they're going to go ahead and back off, and Trine also going to back off. They're not going to get that last one. They're not going to play too greedy. They know that they can't give up this Baron buff. They have an advantage that they already have. No reason to push it further than they already have. Very disciplined play. Oh yeah, let's try it. As you can see, the coaching on the side of Trine's also very, very good. They know what they needed to do there. They didn't want to force it too much. They have to play it safe. They have the advantages. They win the fights. They just need to get ready for this final blow to take out the rest of the towers. I think overall, Mizzou just... I don't know if it was tilt or what, but that play just seems super forced. Like, they didn't have to do that. They could have just waited out the Baron, but instead... They lose 3. They lose their advantages. But right here, we're going to see Jax get a kill there, which is really good. We're going to see a TP coming out of the Jax, or excuse me, out of the Scion. Scion's going to look for an R here. Going to get it onto Risk It, onto the Sejuani. But so they're going to head and back out. That's Ezreal R also used at the same time. Paladin's going to be looked to get an out here. They're not going to go ahead and dive him. Instead, they're going to trade 1 for 0 there. Pretty good for Mizzou, getting off a Baron buff away from him. That was a pretty much must at this point. They just have to play for picks. They have to stem the bleeding, make this game go on longer is going to be the goal for them. Jax getting that kill.
Yeah, getting shutdowns onto Jax will be really good for Mizzou.
Yeah, Jax right now is their saving grace. Yeah, Zoe is just so far ahead, it seems. Oh, but instead, Paladin getting caught out by the Riven and the J4. He's going to go then. That's going to be a 550 gold shutdown on the Riven. Riven, while before he was down 2k gold, now he's up 300 gold. There's a lot of differences right now. Just the lack of vision, where they need the vision. They know what the other team's team cup is. Cookie pushing out a little bit too far, trying to get vision. Instead, he's going to have to use his Zanyas, and Riven's going to go ahead and he's going to step into that, and that usually spells certain death, but instead Zoe's a little bit out of position. Probably didn't think the Cookie was just going to walk into it. I wouldn't have either. Probably was surprised to him and the rest of his team. On both sides. That's alright. It happens like that. Instead, J4, they're going to go ahead and push out this mid tower. Because of the advantage. Sion's going to use his R, but he's not going to be able to hit it. It's going to be Sion R down for a little bit. One of their shorter cooldowns.
That's a great inside PC joke.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, when you're ahead like this, you really can't force it like that. I mean, you look at the difference. You have Cloud Drake coming up, and you have Baron coming up. That Baron, if Trine University gets the Baron, I don't know if there's much that Mizzou can do to really come back from that, to really put themselves in a position again to win this game. It seems like it's kind of spiraled out of control a little bit. Just getting caught out over and over again, either from a lack of vision or the added tilt, losing the Baron, even though they had the advantage. If they get that Baron, if Ritzkit doesn't miss Smite there, this is a much different game. But right now, they're really trying, just looking to get these big objectives. The more they farm these side lanes, the more they push Mizzou back, force them out of position, force their pressure away, where they get these with as little as of a contest as possible. And that's one of the biggest goals what they're going to be looking at right now, is looking to make sure that Mizzou can't really contest, and they can't really do that right now. Right now they're going to go ahead and get that Cloud Drake, get their 5th dragon of the game, and then they're going to be looking for this Baron. I'm sure they're going to go straight for it.
Saw there Ezreal had just managed to stack up his Seraph's Embrace, so he's a full double tier Ezreal now.
Oh, so he is hitting like an absolute truck right now. I mean, like right now, Ezreal almost completely full build. Looking at 4 fully completed and stacked items coming out of Ezreal, with Vladimir only having 3, and his needlessly large rod, excuse me. But overall, Ezreal is just so much stronger right now. I mean, he's up 4k gold. Just a full item and a half up right now between the two. Right now, it doesn't seem like there's much that Mizzou can really do other than hope that Riskit can have a miracle smite. I guess they really can't get caught out there. If they get caught out, I think if Mizzou loses this next fight, they might just lose the game. Honestly.
Oh, definitely. They have an open inhib and one Nexus tower.
I don't think there's really much they could do. And I don't know where I guess it really started with when they're getting caught out in lanes, but I don't know. I guess it's going to be, there's going to be a lot of questions after this game about the champ select from Mizzou. I'm sure there's reasons, and we'll find that out after game. I don't want to say it's a bad champ select. It's definitely not a bad champ select that Mizzou had. It's just not really working out for him too well. But Sion right here, going to get a little bit caught out, but it's not going to matter. It is Sion. Doesn't take too much damage, but instead the Ezreal are going to chunk out pretty much everybody. Cookie going to take down 1 HP. That's going to be a huge Sion Q. Those kind of missed. That's alright. So that is going to be 2 down from Mizzou. Zoe BMing with a Zonya's use. No need for it.
Trying to pick up redemption.
Maybe so. Oh, I guess pick up the flash. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're going to see that Riskit is going to go for it. Riskit wins these. I mean, he didn't win his regular fight. Instead, Paladin's going to go for it. He's going to put a little bit of damage down. He's going to have to use his stopwatch, and he's going to have to really... He's just going to sit here and do as much damage as he can, trying to 1v5 the game. Malzahar is going to get put a little damage on the Zoe, get the kill on the Zoe, force Trine off the Baron for a little bit. This makes it a little bit more manageable for Riskit. Riskit can go in there and not really be too contested. But instead, they're going to really push on to him. Malzahar gets taken out. Riskit's going to be R'd on by the Sion. Sion's going to miss the R, and he's going to go ahead and dash out of there. That's really actually a really, really good thing for Mizzou because they forced them off the Baron buff completely. That was best case scenario right there, other than stealing the Baron. I think that's why Paladin went in. A lot of lower level teams, if you would have saw that Jax went in, you would have think that they were just, he was just trolling pretty much. He was just tilted. But the underlying reason on why they do that is they want to make sure that they can get Trine off of that Baron buff. That is huge for them. That allows them to survive a little bit longer in this game. I think that was a really, really good play, a really, really good call from whoever made it there. Really good stuff overall. But right now, Trine's going to go ahead and head right back over to that Baron. I mean, that's the only really thing they need to focus on right now. No reason to get themselves cut out. Instead, they're going to try to force fights now. I think they went away from the point of being too scared to fight. Instead, they're getting really, really eager to fight. With a 2-level advantage in the mid lane, a 2-level advantage with an item, almost 2-item advantage between the ADCs and a level in the supports. Trine's just in a really good position to win almost every single team fight. Alright. So, right now, Mizzou focusing on getting more vision around that Baron, making sure that they can react if Trine really go for it. Good stuff all around to make sure that they can... the more vision they get, the longer this game goes. And one of the biggest things to focus on is Mizzou's real goal right now is to make this game last as long as they possibly can. The longer they allow this game to last, the more even everybody gets. Because it gets to a point in a game where it doesn't matter what happened early in the game, everybody turns out to be even. Other than the drag advantage, that's really going to be big for them. But right now we have another big objective. We're going to have Elder Drake. Is going to be the next big objective here, getting focused on over to Trine University. Either one of these big objectives they get is really, really good for them. It puts them in a really good position, but instead, they know that there's a junk that Sejuani's in the bot side, so instead they're going to clear out some vision over here by the Baron, and I think they might just go for it. They see the Sejuani. They are just going to go ahead and go for it with a little bit of what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Moving them off the objective, pretty much. Forcing them off. Peeling, I guess. There you go. There's a word. But Mizzou is probably going to have to force a fight here. Sion, go ahead and R onto Cookie. Instead, we're going to get the Malzahar, but Malzahar is going to get pretty much one shot. As long as the Morgana, that's going to be 2 down already. Riskit's going to have to go ahead and flash out to make sure that he can have a chance at stealing this Baron. That's going to be a 2-for-0 trade. Or, excuse me, a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Trine University. But a good thing to notice is that while it was a 2-for-1 trade, Jax got a huge shutdown from that Ezreal. It's going to be really, really good for him when it comes to him actually scaling into the monster that he needs to be if they're going to have a chance of winning this game. Right here, what they're going to be doing is Trine University is going to be looking to either bait this Elder or go for this Elder. And so right now, Paladin getting a little bit too far up, but instead he's actually going to get a counter-strike on the two people. Riskit's going to miss his R, but I don't know if it's really going to matter too much. They're going to focus on the jungler here. They're going to kill the jungler. That's going to be a smite gone from the side of Trine University. A really, really good trade for them. Getting that J4 down opens up a lot of opportunities for them. It opens up the opportunity of getting this Elder. It opens up the opportunity of maybe forcing this Baron. But instead, they're just going to go for the Elder. Make it where there's only going to be one objective on the board. If Riskit can hit his smite, always a big difference. You're going to get a TP back from Sion. There seems to be a fight that's going to be forced. He doesn't hit the fight this time. Instead, he's going to get the smite. Sion's going to R-Ren. They're going to get the... They're going to trade one kill. Morgana's going to go down, but at that, Riven's going to go down with her. He was like already a 2-for-1 trade. Favored for Trine University. The Jax and the Malzahar, if you look to your left, both being one-shot, being super, super lucky that it worked out that well, because I think if they both die, the game's over. Right now, Mizzou doing a lot of damage control, but it's really working out for them. Them it's not just securing that objective, it's making sure that Trine University cannot get that objective. I'm pretty sure if they get that objective, there's no way that Mizzou wins a fight. But it seems like right now, Trine's going to be finally looking to hopefully secure this advantage for themselves. With the bot side being down, but Riskit going to be walking straight into 4 people, taking a whole lot of damage. Paladin's going to go onto the ADC, but he's going to have to go ahead and get trapped into the... Oh my god! There we go! That's the Paladin we like to see! Jumping out of 2 people, completely switching this fight around. That's going to be Sion going down next as well. The TP being forced down of the Riven, and they might win this fight as well. With this, they're going to get the Baron, and they could just look to actually get more objective. That's really, really big for them. That is a 5-for-nothing trade. How does that happen? Mizzou was so far behind, but they still were able to bring it back. Just insane macro play coming out of Mizzou there. Paladin getting the counter-strike on multiple people, being able to push the advantage that they need to. The next person that comes up is J4 in 20 seconds. With this, they could be able to maybe break an inhib if they really want to. They're not going to be able to force the end here, but they are going to be able to maybe break an inhib. That's going to be really, really good for them. Wow.
That's exactly what Mizzou needed to get back into this game.
That was so surprising. Honestly, there are so many other teams that would have tilted 15 minutes ago out of the game. Pretty much. But this is something we see out of Mizzou time and time again. The mental attitude that they have as a team, the coaching that they get, and whoever's shot calling or whoever the people are that are shot calling on that team are just so good at making sure that what they want to do is being done. Really good job taking their advantage there and running with it. Really, really good for them. So with that, they actually go up in gold by 1k gold. They're still down in kills, down on the drags, but overall, them having that gold advantage is really what matters the most here. So with that, no big objectives on the board. This is just going to be waiting for a fight to happen, or just chilling and fighting, or excuse me, not fighting, chilling and farming until a big objective comes up. Riskit is going to get caught out here. With that, he is going to go down for free. I don't know what exactly he was doing there. Maybe he was clearing a ward, but he stepped out a little bit too far. And now the Riven's going to go ahead and go onto the Morgana. Morgana's going to have to use her Zhonya's, but it's alright. That gives time for the Malzahar to get away. That was the opposite of what they wanted to see happen. But Jax...
I think what they were doing there is letting Jax split push.
I think with that, they might lose an inhib. Yeah, they're going to lose this inhib on the bot side, and losing 3 there is really going to hurt their ability to fight and defend their own things. Yeah, we're going to see Jax is going to have to TP here. He's going to TP here to make sure that they can actually have a chance to win this fight, or hopefully at least back them off. Getting caught there was the opposite of what they needed there. They took their advantage that they had, and they completely ruined it, I guess. You know what I mean? Just not really good for him. It's like the second I give them praise, that happens. But overall, Paladin is still scaling up to be an absolute monster. He does so much damage already. And right now he has 400 farm in 45 minutes. That is LCS level stuff right now. He has 80 farm over anybody else in the game. That split push ability that he's going to have is also going to be huge. And it's really miraculous that Mizzou didn't lose the game off of that. Usually losing 3 players like that is something that's so detrimental to your ability to defend your base, so you just lose off of that. But I guess the influence that Paladin has and how strong he is just forces Trine off the base. Allowing Mizzou, I mean, Mizzou keeping this game go as long as they have right now. Right now, I'm pretty sure all that matters is one 5v5 team fight. One 5v5 team fight is what decides the game. You have Drag coming up in a minute. That'll be a second Elder. Oh, we're going to see Riska put a little bit of damage. We're going to see a flash go from Paladin, trying to catch out that Zoe, but not going to happen. So we're going to see the Scion get caught out, but instead he's just a giant meatball. He's not going to take too much damage. Riska's going to push a little bit too far up. We're going to get a Drowsy onto the Jax. He's going to take a lot of damage here, but he still has a GA, so if he takes a lot of damage, it's going to be okay. And so we're going to see a Jarvan, but he's going to suicide for it. And instead, you're not trapping Paladin there. You're trapped with him in there. He loses his GA, but instead, he's probably going to be able to get out. Not exactly. He's going to die for it. And with that, it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Trine University. Mizzou's going to have to get out there, or else they are not really going to have a chance. I mean, they're going to have to give up this Elder. That's going to be really big for them. I don't know exactly what happened in that team fight, but it just seemed like one person being out of position ruined it all. Really unlucky. I mean, Risk it's still up, but it looks like they're really looking towards pushing that wave and then going for this Elder Drake. Elder is going to boost all 5 dragons that they have, the extra damage that they have, the extra speed, the extra health regen. That's going to double, right?
Yeah. I believe it's double. Let me see if I can look at one of their buffs right now. Yeah, so right now they have 10% extra AD and AP, 4.5% extra move speed, which triples out of combat, and then 9% missing health and mana regen every 5 seconds.
Jesus, but something that's really, really good is Mizzou is actually making the proactive play here. It could hurt them because Jax cannot go down there to help because he doesn't have TP. Instead, if they fight this fight, it's going to be a 4v5. Instead, what they're really going to do is they're just going to leash that buff for him. We're going to see Paladin wins these. Instead, they're actually going to kill them. They're going to kill the Ezreal. They're going to trade 1 for 0 already. Cookie's going to have to go into the Hourglass. So is Vladimir. Vladimir's going to go down, but instead Paladin's going to get 2 kills already. And then now they're going to be looking to the Elder. They're going to be looking at, and again, Cookie might go down here, but it's not really going to matter. Instead, they're going to get the second Elder Drake. That's exactly what they needed there. Super, super clean. They're going to be looking for the end here. You can see already that J4 just left the game. He knows the game is over. They have already given up. They have lost full here. Malzahar's going to have to back because they have to make sure that those minions, like right now, the only thing Scion can really do is maybe TP back and try to end game. But instead, I think they're just going to go for the end here. Yeah, the J4 reconnected. But right now, Paladin's going to look to end for it. 16 seconds to Ezreal. I don't think they're going to be able to do anything about it. Instead, this is going to be Mizzou against all odds. And when they really need to, they're going to come back and they're going to come and win this game somehow. They miraculously pulled it out. That's going to be Mizzou winning against Trine University in a 2-0 fashion. Super, super clean plays coming out of Mizzou there. That's exactly what they needed. Insane macro play. Able to not be tilted at all during that. No matter what. No tilt. That's what we needed to see there, and that's what we did see. Really, really good stuff coming out of Mizzou there. Playing as well as they possibly could. That's the ideal situation for them. All right, so let me see if I can go ahead and set up an interview with them. We'll see if I can get an interview. That would be very, very nice. But let's go ahead. I think one of the biggest indicators of this game is seeing first the damage charts. Paladin on Jax is just amazing to watch. The way that he's able to take the advantages that he gets in lane and push them out of lane to win the game, or help to carry the game in the end there is just super, super good for him. He's always able to take that Jax pick. Teams who give him Jax might as well FF the game, because at that point they're giving up such a power pick to him. At the same time, we didn't talk about him at all, but Bismarck did so much damage in the mid lane. He was such a force to be reckoned with. Really, really good stuff out of the Malzahar. The Malzahar and Jax played really, really well when it comes to the damage charts. But something that's really, really important to see as well is Sejuani. Sejuani had a lot of pressure all over the map while he did choke on the salami and miss a smite. That's all right sometimes, because overall, nothing matters if you miss a smite as long as you come out with that dub, and that's what they do. And with that, they put themselves in a really good position. They're still in win or pretty much get knocked out mode by now. They really have to win everything that they can. Still, overall, really good stuff coming out of Mizzou, playing to their strengths. They knew their win condition. They knew what they had to do to win, and they use it to their advantage, honestly. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and open the chat, because I haven't had a chat at this entire time. With that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to be moving on to some of our fun festivities after game, which is picking our MVP for game 1 and 2. Overall, who you guys think is the most valuable player from Mizzou. You guys can go ahead and vote in chat who you think your options are. Again, Paladin, that Jax carry, game 2, and also smacking the Jax on the other team, game 1. We also have Risk It. Had a lot of pressure. He did miss Smite, and you hate to see it happen, but hey, it happens sometimes. You have Bismarck. Both the first game, he had made so many plays with that Azir. He was just all over the map, starting a lot of fights, and it's something you really love to see coming out of the Azir. And then the second game with the Malzahar, R'ing the people that he needed to, and making sure that he can set up for the fights that he needs to, and doing a lot of damage as well. And then you have the two different ADCs. The first ADC you can vote on is Nestor. Nestor with that clean Caitlyn gameplay that he does every single time. I don't know why teams keep on giving him Caitlyn, because giving him Caitlyn is pretty much just admitting you don't want to win the game. It happens like that. Unlucky. And then other than that, you have Cookie, who was our MVP last game. But hey, MVP last set, last week. But this time he played Morgana game 2 and the Thresh game 1. Had a lot of playmaking abilities, making sure he got that KP, the most KP on the team. Doing exactly what you love to see from a support role. So right now we have one vote from Nestor, from Nestor. You have a vote for Paladin, Pillow Touch. You have a vote for Bismarck. So you have one for Nestor, one for Paladin, one for Bismarck. And then with that, that's all the votes. We need one more vote to break the tiebreaker between Nestor, Paladin, and Bismarck. Is anybody? I mean, personally, I think I would have give my vote counts 2. Well, now we got 2 votes counting 2. So this makes it a little bit harder to determine the MVP. Paladin, the number 1. I think this game we're gonna go ahead and tiebreaker. We had dice rolling in the back, but the dice roll said that Paladin. Oh, just kidding. Bismarck just before. Oh my God, it's still a tie. Oh my God. Okay, we are double tied here. Oh my God. Okay, we need. So it's a 3-for-3 vote. All right, Nestor, you're gonna have to be the deciding vote here on MVP. Nestor, who do you think was the MVP of this game? Oh, there we go. There we go. We got a Paladin vote coming out of my dad, who is in chat. How you doing, Dad? You're the man. I love you, man. So with that means that Paladin is going to be our MVP today. He just absolutely smashed it in the top lane. Just pushed every advantage that he could, and carried almost both games. Insane plays coming out of it. We got a Cookie vote a little bit late. But it's all right. We're all good here. So Paladin, I appreciate you guys all for watching. And once we get the go ahead, we're gonna go ahead and get the yes, he got MVP last time. You can't get MVP every time. Come on. But once we get the go ahead, we're gonna go ahead and do the interview with the winning team, and hopefully the winning coach, which we weren't able to do last time. We're gonna have to see whenever they're ready. I mean, after a game like that, there's definitely a lot to unwind with, and I'm sure they want to talk about that now while it's still all fresh in the mind. But what we're gonna go ahead and do is look at the advanced details, which we've already done once. But we're just gonna go ahead and do it again. Just look at this graph. You can see while the Ezreal did a lot of damage and the Riven did a lot of damage, you have Bismarck and you have Paladin, two insanely good players, always pushing their advantage, always showing on why that they are super, super strong players. Paladin, arguably one of the best top laners that could be in this league, honestly. I mean, every single game, it doesn't matter if he gets himself a little bit behind. It really doesn't matter. Overall, he knows what he needs to do, and he does it. He carries the game when he has to, and that's what you really love to see coming out of your top laner. Mid lane, I feel like we don't give Bismarck a lot of credit, but Bismarck also played insanely well. Just again, even though he got into a lane that was really not really favorable for him, because Sion is just able to just tank everything that hits him. He still was able to push it, and in the fights where it matters is where he was able to shine. But overall, one of the things you really have to focus on is how good of coaching how good of coaching must they have gotten for them to be that far behind, have that bad of demoralizing things happen to them, but they still find a way to rise from the ashes and win the game in the end. Really good plays all around. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to get and hop in to the A-Team chat, do a little bit of interviewing with everybody. All right, how you guys doing? Congrats on the win today, guys. You guys played insanely well.
Thanks.
So, for first, we're going to talk to our MVP in Paladin.
Oh, shit.
How exactly did you guys win that second game when it looked like you guys were getting smashed at one point?
Holy shit. We had really good scaling comp. I think they made him a lot of mistakes. Like, they could have maybe... Okay, the first time that they got the cracked and they got our first Nexus Tower, I think they maybe could have kept going and tried to force something. And then there was a time... There was just a lot of times where they'd back up when I was thinking in my head, like, oh my god, they're probably going to keep going, but then they just wouldn't. Like, the first time Elder spawned, they all like recalled and reset and let us get vision for free, and it's like, oh, good, they just gave it to us when they could have probably contested it or taken it. But on top of that, our comp was just really late scale with Jax. We have Vlad, we have the mouse, and then Ezreal didn't buy QSS, so we were able to ult him for free, take him out immediately.
He didn't pay the QSS tax. He didn't pay the
Yeah,
ADC
Play
tax.
the Malzahar tax. Everybody else in the game did, but he did. The most
that's why they
important one
lost,
on their team doesn't have a QSS.
That is unlucky.
Yeah.
Now I have a question for TJ. TJ, you here, buddy?
Yeah.
So what happened that first Baron?
Oh boy.
The stolen one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a rough one. I tried landing my E auto attack smite combo, and the Ezreal ult just fucking hitting it. I thought it was just I don't know. I kind of just threw it all out there at once, and he stole it.
Trine
Wasn't too
sent
bad.
a sleeper agent to his house right at that moment, so he had to fight him off while we were getting the Baron.
They
That
DDoSed
makes
it
sense.
at the
But
exact same time.
another
Yeah,
question for TJ. How, after something like that, do you still play really well afterwards? Like, how do you keep your mental as good as you did during that and still able to make plays to put your team in a position to win?
Well, I knew how hard Josh was working throughout the week and how well JP has been able like to really set up pregame and postgame as a coach. His VODs have really helped me as a jungler improve. Also, I know Nick was extremely ahead that game, felt compassionate about winning, and Ben is actually 0-2 in playing in all of our games. So I thought it would have been kind of, I don't know, I kind of wanted to give him some wins under his belt.
Love.
But other than that, I was tilted to all hell.
But hey, that at least shows everybody that you are definitely a team player when it matters, and that's really, really good to see. Other than that, that game one, did you guys think that Trine University was going to come back with such a fire in game two, or did you think they're just going to kind of curl up and die like the last team pretty much seemed like?
No, I think we predicted their play style pretty much perfectly. We just weren't able to play around it. Like we knew they'd put a lot of topside pressure, so I wouldn't be able to just fight the Riven as much as I wanted. But it just worked out for them. So I think they played exactly how they didn't really special. We just played poorly into it.
And one last
Yeah,
question.
it definitely wasn't our best game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you guys still played really well. And I definitely respect the picks you guys. I mean, you guys weren't afraid to pull out some different picks. And speaking of different picks, what's up with the Vladimir in the bot lane?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is something we've been practicing. It usually works out. I think the Zoe definitely put us in a spin, me and Robert, because we were just playing like monkeys at some
Yeah,
point.
their whole comp threw us for a loop for a while. We thought it was Riven mid.
Yeah.
Scion top with the Zoe support. And then they roll swapped. There was a whole lot of flexing going on in Champion Select.
Yeah, we thought we were throwing them for a loop with the Vladimir, and then all of a sudden, three-way, like weird thing going on.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys for this interview. You guys played really, really well. Do you
appreciate the
guys
stream.
have another week of playing, or
Maybe.
No, this will be the last game of the regular season. If we are going to continue with the Timo Cup, which is like basically the consolation
sir,
bracket,
yes, sir,
then
yes,
we
sir.
will have games later. I am unsure if they will start next week, but they will start relatively soon.
all right,
Yes.
perfect. And other than that, Campus Classic is coming up soon.
Campus Clash, yeah.
Or Campus Clash. Can you guys tell me a little bit about that until like all the people here watching from Mizzou about that?
Go ahead,
So,
Josh.
speaking from experience, me and Max went last year. It's a tournament at Columbia College where they basically are inviting key teams, 8 teams roughly from the various region, and they set up a nice little bracket, and it is a huge expo. Like when you go there, they rent out or they use their gymnasium. They put up a stage. They have like casters. They have it's a grand time. Like lots of food. They have other games there as well. It's basically just like a convention for League.
And is this something that we at Mizzou can come and watch you guys and support you guys at?
Oh, definitely. You guys should definitely come. It's April 6th. It's a Saturday. We'll be playing at 10 in the morning. So you'll have to wake up a little bit early on that Saturday. But it is a great time. It's one of the best experiences I've had.
They're
all
good
right.
teams too, like challenger teams.
Yep.
So what you guys all heard it here first is you guys definitely need to come out, support your Mizzou team in person. If you think it's fun watching them online, imagine how much more fun it is to be with all of your friends here, all together. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. You guys played really, really well. I think with this, we're going to go ahead and head back over to the Caster's Realm and end up this stream. Thank you guys, and good job
Yep.
today.
Thank you for the stream. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. All right. So with that, I think we're going to get ready to end the stream. As we saw before, Mizzou winning 2-0 against Trine University. Up next, they got the Timo Cup and the Midwest Campus Clash. So make sure you support your Tigers there. It is free as well, so that's also very, very good. And with that, I think we're going to get ready to end the broadcast. I'm Brady Topix Graves, and joined with me is Josh JQ Rob. We wish you guys a good rest of your night. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Take care.